Hi, Scorpio. Here we are. The Star, Aquarius. Five of Pentacles. All right. Seven of Cups. Seven of Swords. Five of Swords. What is going on? Five of Swords. I'm not making this up. That's crooked. Page of Cups. Five of Wands. 1, 2, 3 5s and 2 7s. And we've got an 8 here. Okay. So 3 5s. Alright, so that would be, well, you got vertical on something. There we go. So did you get some news? Did you find out some information and you're just like, you know what? I'm not letting that slide, or I'm not giving up. I'm going to persevere. I'm not backing down. I'm maintaining my position. So it's almost like there's been some disappointment, but you're determined to ride this out. Now, this is just situational. It's something, a situation that you find disappointing, but it's not anything going on behind the scenes that is like transformative or like, paradigm shift type stuff, like major arcana stuff. This is all minor arcana here. So this is just like frustration and disappointment and like, okay. So, all right, what's this Five of Pentacles for Scorpio? This is Five of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles. Well, if anything, it emboldens you. Holy cow. High Priestess. Pisces or Cancerian. All right. You doubting yourself. Feeling like you made the wrong decision, or like you're not so sure anymore. We got doubt here. We got wondering. Okay, what's this Seven of Cups here for Scorpio? Knight of Cups, that's Scorpio. Alright. Seven of Swords here for Scorpio. Four of Wands. Okay. We got you needing to take a second look at a situation here. Consider either someone's offer, or you need to consider how you feel about something. Do you feel right about it? Have you looked at all the options here? Because you need to pick your head up and look at your options and know that the answer is within you, and whatever has served as kind of something that you're second guessing yourself about, it just needs more information. You just need more information. It feels like you're frustrated and disappointed because perhaps there was a situation that isn't panning out the way you thought it would, and you were more involved than you wanted to be or thought you were, and you just need to pull back and look at some more options. That's all. You just need to consider different choices. It's not too far gone. So this is no getting down in the dumps and staying there. I mean, you can, but then it's about exploring options, getting back up and knowing that you have the answer within you. You didn't turn your back on it. You didn't doubt yourself. You didn't let yourself go. You didn't betray or anything like that. You're not where you once were. You're not doing the same thing again. Might feel like it, though, because there's kind of an immediacy here, but that's okay. All right, what's this? Five of Swords. This could be you took on a job and it's not working out and you just got to look elsewhere. You got to get on the move again. Because there is movement here. This is about you not staying still for long. A little bit of frustration at how something turned out, but you don't stay there for long. It feels like there's some restlessness. It feels like, okay, what's this Five of Swords for Scorpio? Perhaps this is a relationship that you're second guessing, or you're like, you know what, I need to think more critically about this offer. I'm not so sure. Something doesn't feel right, and it could be because there's betrayal afoot. There's someone doing something shady that's not, because we've got communal living, community partnership, celebratory partnership, after the wedding or the expansion. Then we've got living together. We've got being a couple. The adventure begins as a couple, that type of thing here. And yet, there's mischief afoot with that. And so you're pulling back considering, I'm not sure about this. I'm not getting what I want out of this. Why? I don't want to take this person up on their offer. I don't know how I feel about this. Yes, something doesn't make sense. I need more time to think here. And so this is you disconnecting and maybe withdrawing and going inward to find the answers. This is not beating yourself up because you got yourself involved in a certain situation again. No, this doesn't feel like that. This feels like you're getting vertical on something and you're taking charge of the situation. You're not going blindly down again or doing the whole fierce loyalty thing and then getting disappointed. You're like, oh, no, wait. Hold on a minute. Good for you. So we got the Five of Swords and King of Pentacles. Thinking practically about a situation. Excellent. King of Pentacles, I read that as Virgo. So this is you, good for you, not repeating something again. This is you not putting up with someone not being honest with you, someone not treating you what you're worth. This could be a job and you're like, oh, hold on a minute. I was hired on for this, or I was supposed to get this. And this is you calling that situation out. This is you looking at that situation and going, wait a second here. This isn't what I signed on for. So this is this is calling that out. This is valuing yourself and looking at the long view on something and going, hey, if this is how it's going to be, I need to make some critical decisions about this. But you don't just do it internally. You actually address it. You call it out. You either speak to the superior, your supervisor, or a coworker, or you address it. This is not suffering in silence or kind of trying to be strategic in silence. And it's almost like you got a hair trigger because you're like, oh, nope, it happens, and you're like, wait a second, which is a good thing. What's this Page of Cups here? This is Page of Cups. The Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, breaking the cycle. Yeah. So doing that gets you what you want then. So we go from kind of doubting yourself and going, oh, Lord, is this happening again? And then you're like, no. Because it's almost like you're like, I'm not going to let that get to me like that again. I'm going to address this, and I'm stopping it in its tracks because it doesn't feel right. Something's not right. I'm not getting the whole picture, or I don't have all the information yet. In simpler terms, but in another situation, this could be you're not sure about taking someone up on their romantic offer because there's an affair going on. And you're like, if it wasn't for the affair, then this could be what I wanted. I would want it to be, but I can't trust it. It doesn't feel right. And I feel compelled to make decisions now that I know. Feel compelled to make some decisions about that, and so you're feeling kind of down and disconnected, and maybe you're withdrawing from the situation even though you still feel that connection. This could be knowing what you need to do and just being bummed that you have to do it, but this feels kind of sad and despondent. This feels empowered. This feels like you're going, hold on, and it's you in control of making the decisions whether you're going to accept or not, addressing it, calling it out, wanting to know what's going on here. Same here, because you're in your full faculty, you're in your full power here, and you got your best interest and your long view in mind. So you're not afraid to be like, look, I got to take care of myself. I need to know what I'm working with here. And if you're not going to tell me, I'm going to find out on my own. Like I'm not going to just rely on your words here. I'm going to watch your actions also. They need to match up. I am going to be where I'm valued. Make no mistake about that. I'm not going to be where I'm not valued, and I will speak to it. So what's it going to be? How are we going to do this? Just want to plan my day. A little feisty there. All right. Calm down. All right. Page of Cups, Wheel of Fortune. Nice. Okay, so good. Like I said, doing all that, get on my soapbox, gives you what you want. It shifts it breaks the storyline. It breaks the narrative. It shifts you into a new position. Baby steps. It gets you what you want. The cycle is broken. So wherever you were from, to where you used to maybe take it and kind of survive and try to make do and try to reroute it and steer it and take control, subvert the, none of that. You're calling it out, you're facing it head on, and a new cycle begins. It's like, oh, well, look at that. I actually am getting what I want, or I feel heard, I feel validated, I feel like I can do this, or that, yeah, this is what it should be for me. It's just Five of Wands here. It's Five of Wands. Seven of Pentacles. Good. Because this is failure. Yeah. By calling it out, by getting vertical on it, by addressing it, by thinking in terms of, hey, I'm not going to stay if I'm not valued, if it's not worth it for me. I've got my long view in mind here. This is allowing you to have, like, okay, so what's it going to be? You know what I mean? Like, this is asking that, like, how are we going to do this? Are we going to recover from this and get back on track, or is it going to be a point of contention and I got to go? And so it's as much your call as it is the other party's call, whether it's a job, coworkers, family, relationship. But this is you addressing it and being open to solutions, but not backing down from your position. So this is about how you handle, now that this has come to light, now that you're addressing it and calling it out, you're at the crossroads here, how are you going to handle this? And it's as much you being ready to handle it and calling on the other party to do the same. Like, meet me halfway here. There's a solution and we can find it. But if you're not willing, then I'm not going to stick around. It's not going to be worth it for me. So this is you kind of calling someone or something, well, someone, right? Romantic or otherwise, out and putting yourself in the position of like, hey, I matter in this situation. I need to be compensated fairly, paid fairly, valued. I'm not going to take you up on your offer until I know all the facts, or until I'm just not sure yet. And here's the reason why. Whatever it is, you're willing to work on this or solve this, but you're not going to do it the way you used to. And that makes all the difference here, because you're not going to get out in front of it and try to control it, or try to kind of, be a certain way so that someone kind of owes you loyalty for how good you were and how much you waited, or how much. There's none of that here. This is you getting just like, look, life's too short. I don't want to waste my time anymore on it. I've already wasted time way back when. I've learned from it. I'm actually going to address this, and before I get in any deeper. So whatever this situation is, you confront it, and it's a game changer, because it kind of starts you on this new cycle, and there's almost this like, oh, so that's what it feels like to value, or to ask for that raise and actually get it, or to get that respect. I just confront it, and I know it sounds simplistic, like, oh, I just have to do this and then that works. No, but this isn't so much about what you did making the other person respond. It's about the change in you, that you addressed it as early as you did. There's you calling a situation out because it didn't feel right, and it has like this transformative effect. Honestly, it's like it changes the course of what could have been, because you're not gonna take it passively. And it's more about it's not about how they treat you afterwards, it's about how you feel about yourself. It's a paradigm shifter. And there's a word for it, I'm not finding it, but this is you changing the game. You handle this differently, and it makes you feel really empowered, it makes you feel really strong, it makes you feel like you can do anything. Like, you don't have to put up with it. This feels like work. Honestly, it feels like you're at a job. I mean, it could be a relationship, but it feels like you're not feeling valued where you're at, and you're calling not just one person, but a couple people out on their treatment of you. And you're doing it very early in the situation. It's almost like this is the first issue that's come up with work, like somebody didn't come through on a shift or something. I mean, this could be a new relationship, but it feels like you're addressing something. Maybe that's what the two people is, because it feels like you're addressing something at work and you're addressing something in a relationship. Maybe that's what the more than one person is. Because there's a new mindset in town, and you're not going to take it anymore in a good way. A new story begins here. And this is like you going, okay, so there's this issue. Let's get it out in the open. Let's clear the air. What's it going to be? And here's the Seven of Pentacles, waiting and deciding, and you moving forward on your terms. Not waiting for someone, not hoping you get that raise or hoping that something turns out. This is you calling it out and going, okay, what are we going to do about this? And then your options are left open because you're like, well, let me hear what you have to say, and if it fits, okay. So I like it. There's a very Nine of Wands-ish energy here, and I'm surprised it didn't show up, but I like it. Because you're like, let's not waste each other's time here. You know? We're going to figure this out, or are you going to be weird about it and I have to go? Obviously, it's not that simple, but it's the gist of it. That's for Scorpio. Three of Raphael, which is cups. Three of cups. Reasons to celebrate. A community of friends. Happy announcements regarding relationships or children. Okay. Is this you dating? Is this you meeting someone? Is this you kind of having a defining moment and maybe confronting an issue with some friends, a group of friends, or a group of people? There's that more than one person again. Calling the situation out. Is this? Is this dealing with somebody that you're having an affair with or that you found out? Dealing with that. Now, this says reason to celebrate, but I mean, we got the Seven of Swords, Three of Cups. This is kind of one of those readings that it's not happy. It's, I guess you could say, productive or proactive in the sense that there's some calling something out and addressing something. So it's not either happy or sad. It's just kind of taking something to task, doing something that needs to be done. So it's neutral. It's like, it's not good or bad. Depending on how it's handled, remains to be seen. But this is addressing something that needs to be addressed. You're not happy about it, but you're not going to stay stuck in that. You're going to address it. All right. So there's, I know you might not see it, but there's a real sense of feeling empowered after you call it out. After you don't go through with normally how you would have handled something like this in the past. You don't. You pull back and you go, wait a second. Wait a second. I'm not so sure anymore. And so it could be the cheating, or it could be that you're like, this is like a game changer for you because all of a sudden you feel really empowered and you're like, you know what? And you feel like you're making the right decision and you're supported. Your tribe supports you. It's actually kind of a good thing because there's a lot of gratification in feeling like, hey, I spoke to this. I put myself first, or I matter. I don't have to do the subtle control thing where I have to position myself so they finally see my worth. It's like this is a game changer for you. And then I sit here and go, okay, it's only a month reading, calm down. And there's, it's not heavy duty. It's just somebody kind of waking up to something. That's all right. But it means a lot to me because for the Scorpios I'm reading for, I feel like you've kind of been on the other side. And I mean, I know like every time I go to do your readings, I'm like, oh my gosh, how's it going to be? And there for a while there was like a slump, and it's like you've learned from it. Like there's coming out of it on the other side here. We got the wheel twice. I mean, this is Four of Wands, but we've got cycle completion here, and we got the wheel here. This is you learning and being like, I'm not going full steam ahead anymore. It's got to be worth it for me to be here. What do you got? I liked it. That's for Scorpio. Okay, so that one's going to jump. We're going to do that one. Whoa, look at that. Face your fears. Okay, so maybe that's the word I was looking for. Face your fears, right? 3 words, whatever. Face your fears. Release the power of fear. Yeah. That sense of empowerment comes when you confront something and call it out. Okay. Maybe that's what I was trying to get after before. Nope, that's not going to work. Yeah. That's for Scorpio. Go with the flow. Let things happen. Yes, do you know why? Because after you call it out, then you can be open to the outcome. Then you can be open to solutions, or you can, because you protected yourself. You stood up for yourself. You didn't annihilate anybody, you know what I mean? But you spoke to it. You're not laying down taking it. So all of a sudden go with the flow. Yeah, things can, and you can let things happen. Why? Because you're not hoping and praying it's going to work out this way, or oh, I hope this and that, because this has to work for this to work. That whole strategic thing, You're confronting something head on, and then you're open to the outcome. You can be, because you're front and center, and you spoke to it. And this is trusting yourself. Being open and letting things happen, or being open to the outcome. Let's see what happens. Show me who you are so I can make an informed decision. Instead of this whole, face your fears and go with the flow. I like it, because it's not about hoping and praying and not speaking to it and staying silent and hoping that you're rewarded for your loyalty. Life's too short. So, okay. So this is you being open after confronting it. There's no one way or the other here. This is, I think, the success, or the whole point of this was for you to actually speak to something that had been kind of bothering you, and it turned out to be a game changer, and it's quite empowering. And instead of you going ahead with and just being complicit and going along and it'll work out, out of loyalty and knowing that if it gets weird, I can always take over and handle it. Instead of doing that, you're like, I'm going to be open. I'm not going to decide what I'm going to invest in yet. I'm going to keep my options open. I'm at the crossroads. I'm seeing if it's worth it or not. But we do need to talk about this. Good for you. Good for you. Scorpio. Good for you. Okay. 5 of Wands reversed, 3 of Pentacles reversed. Okay, so we got delays, we got a false start and a delay, and frustration. So this could be job offer not happening, or being offered less than you were told you were going to be offered. This could be that third party situation where it's not happening. You're putting the brakes on it because you're like, hey, I didn't have all the information. I don't like what I found out. What do you have to say about that? Or just however you handle it. The point is you're handling it. This could be, it speaks to someone's lack of either respect or just not being ready to go forward at this time with what you had previously agreed upon. Someone's not on the same page. And you're like, I'm not having any drama about this. Let's just get it out in the open. What's it going to be? And this feels like you've got someone that's more like they don't want to address it. They don't want to talk about it. And you're like, oh, no, we need to, because this affects me. And just because you're uncomfortable doesn't mean I have to be complicit with that. So, I matter too. I'm here. This involves me also. We're talking about this. We're doing this. And if we're not talking about it, then that gives me a decision to make. Because if it's not worth it to you to salvage this or address this, then I don't belong here because I'm not valued. So, all right. Okay. All right. That's my soapbox. Okay. All right. Scorpio. Okay. I hope to see you in the next reading. Happy birthday later in the month to you, and good for you for addressing this. And honest to God, I know that there might be initially, the frustration or the sadness or but you get vertical real quick, and it's actually quite empowering, because the whole face your fears and then letting things happen. It's like, instead of trying to control the outcome, you're open to it. Because you're not trying to strategize. You confronted it head on. Okay. All right. Okay. Oh my God. 25 minutes. Okay. All right. Okay. So much love to you. Good Lord. I didn't think I talked that long. I'm sorry. I hope to see you in the next reading.